Welcome. We're going to be learning about trig limits in this video. There's really only two special trig limits we need to know. One of them we use pretty frequent between the two. The other one not so much, but you still do need to know it. And here they are. So the limit as x approaches 0 of sine of x over x is equal to 1. And let me explain this real quick. Since this is equal to 1, you can flip the x in the sign. So you can have x over sine of x. That will equal 1. You don't just need to have one x. You can have many x's. You can have like sine of 5x. As long as the bottom is a 5x, that will also equal 1. So a couple different ways to look at that. Now let's go right through to the first example here. I have tangent x over x, but it doesn't say sine of x. I'm stuck. Now, if you know pre-calculus, remember those times you made you memorize all that trig identities? Yeah, now's the time we're going to use them. So tangent, well, first off, let's just plug in a 0 and see what happens. You're going to get 0 over 0. So no bueno. We need to go ahead and use some of our special limits to rewrite this. So tangent turns into what? And I'm probably going to want a sign here because it's going to be really hard to pull off a 1 minus cosine since there's no 1 minuses anything over here. Tangent is the same thing as sine over cosine. Just like that. Now, I'm just going to rearrange. I'm not doing any really math here. I'm just rearranging it. So it becomes limit as x approaches 0 of sine of x over x times 1 over cosine of x. All I did was I took this cosine on the bottom of the top fraction, and I just moved it over. Now, I can use my little handy-dandy limit trick up here. Not really a trick, but it's a rule. So that's going to become a 1. So I am now left with limit as x approaches 0 of 1 times 1 over cosine of x. And now I can plug in a 0. So I'm going to get 1 over cosine of 0. Do you know what that is? I hope you do. It is 1 over 1, which is 1. Ready for the next problem? That was my delay. Let's do it. Now, anytime in these videos, if you need a pause going too fast, please pause. If I'm going too slow, speed it up. Okay, so for this next one, I can't plug in a 0 because I'm just going to get a 0 over 0. So I'm going to have to use one of these two tricks. Again, I don't see any separation of terms or no squares, nothing weird like that. So I'm not going to use this 1 minus cosine of x. I would use this, like if one of these was like a sine squared, then yeah, I could probably pull it off because then sine squared is 1 minus cosine squared, and you can kind of start to go from there. But in any case, I'm going to have to use this guy right here. But I need to create kind of this situation up here with this, the 5x. I need to create a 3x on the bottom. So let's do it. So sine, not sim, sine of 3x over sine of 5x times, I need a 3x on the bottom, and I'll rearrange it. I can only do that if I have a 3x on the top. And for the sine of 5x, for this to work out, because again, remember, it doesn't matter since this is equal to 1, what order, if it's sine on the top, sine on the bottom, it doesn't matter. In this case, sine's on the bottom, so I'm going to need there to be a 5x on the top, like that. But in order to do that, I need a 5x on the bottom. Okay, so all I'm doing right now is just trying to put the pieces of the puzzle on the table. Now let's rearrange them. So I'm going to do sine of 3x, just rearranging it. Sine of 3x over 3x. Ooh. Times 5x over sine of 5x. Times What's left over? I still had this 3x on top. If I'm calling from the previous one, I got rid of this, boom, boom, as a rewrite, not canceling. My blue cancels like I already rewrote it. And then I have that and that. I already wrote it. So what's left? What I did not rewrite yet? Well, I have 3x over 5x. So now, watch this. 1, sine 3x over 3x. 5x over sine 5x is a 1. And actually, these x's over here just cancel out. So I'm just left with 3 over 5. There's no x to plug in, so I am good here. I can just say the answer is 3/5. And that is our video on trig limits.